What is going on, guys? Winter Kills here. Welcome back to a brand new duel video. We got Photon Galaxies on the right versus Sky Strikers on the left. And if you've been interested in some of the Photon Galaxy stuff that I've been doing on the channel recently, there's even more of a reason to be excited, because with the release of Hip Hoshinogen, or however that's pronounced, or Hyperstar as I call him by his original name, I think it's much easier to pronounce. Not in this build. However, we didn't have the real cards yet because we were playing this match a couple days before Cybernetic Horizon actually officially came out, so that's why you'll still be using proxies for things like Hyperstar, even though they're TCG legal when this video goes up. But I wanted to say is that I'm going to be having a fully TCG legal build of Photon Galaxy uploaded very soon. I'm just waiting on a couple of cards to come in the mail, and we'll have that profile for you guys, because I too would really like to play Photons right now, even though we're missing some really good cards like Orbital, Vanisher, Trancer, Braver, Soulflare Dragon, you name it. That's a lot of cards I just named off, but we're missing them. But I really want to play the deck, and I got a pretty nice profile going to be uploading soon, so be on the lookout for that. So I'm luckily able to end here with Soulflare and a Cyber Dragon Infinity on my side of the field, which isn't too bad of an opening for me. I will say that I didn't open up that well. I think this entire match, that I had no hand that I opened, and I was like, wow, this hand is really, really good. So he goes to activate the field spell here, targets his set, does not hit anything Sky Striker related there off that field spell, and goes and shuffle back I believe the two hand traps and that called by back from the deck. And then he's going to go ahead and activate Hornet Drones. I decide to negate that because I don't want him to get access to go into the extra deck if he has no other means of doing it, because that allows him to recycle cards out of the grave. So I figure, you know, I just go ahead and negate that and kind of hope he doesn't have an engage, because regardless, he's going to be able to play around it if he has that extra card. Anyways, it took the chance and it paid off. He's not able to do anything else there. And Orbital goes ahead and equips the Soulflare, and I sent it to the graveyard as cost, and I wanted to look up the actual you know, effect of the cards. I had to pull up a picture because the printout that I have is not very legible, to say the least. And it does send for cost to grave, and it does activate in grave, so he's able to call by that. At least that's how we ruled it. And I think that makes the most sense to me, because it is a spell on field, but in grave it becomes a monster again. I feel like that makes sense. And I could have negated that called by with Cyber Dragon Infinity. I decide not to, though, because it's not that big of a deal. And then I go for Galaxy Zero here to revive out Galaxy Soldier, and then I summon Galaxy Wizard, tribute him away, and go ahead and grab myself a Search of Any Galaxy card. Now, unfortunately, I don't play two Cyber Dragon Infinities, but, you know, hindsight's 20/20. It'd be pretty cool if I was, because I could just go grab, what is it called? Another Expedition, which I grab here anyways, but, actually, no, I don't even think I could make another Cyber Dragon Infinity, because I'm all out of Galaxy Soldiers. But that's a different story, I guess. So I go ahead and summon out the Galaxy Eyes via that Expedition, and then I use Monster Reborn on Wizard, make him level 8. And since that zone was taken up, I wanted to go ahead and make another Soulflare Dragon to add back that Soldier, and then I use the other zone here to go into, not Tachyon, I go into number 38 here, I believe, just to give myself 2 negations against this deck, essentially, because any good card is going to be activated. It's most likely going to be a spell, and another twin in hand, or a set twin called by in hand, and looks like another field spell, so it doesn't seem like he could have done too much there, especially since I had the Cyber Dragon Infinity and the number 38. So I go ahead and take game 1 pretty easily, and we're going to go ahead and head into game 2 here as he gets things started with that reinforcement of the army, adding the Sky Striker Ace Ray. Then immediately following up with a copy of Engage. It's going to go ahead and search him multi-roll, aka Spellbook of Judgment Reincarnated. By the way, if you haven't seen the video I made on Spellbook of Judgment and what would happen if it were to come back, debate on, you know, how powerful the card would be if it actually were to come back. If you haven't seen that, you should go check it out. Pretty proud of that video. I like that new series I've been doing, so it'll be annotated at the end. Another thing that'll also be annotated at the end is the Photon test hand video, as well as I'm not going to do the deck profile because I don't want to update the deck profile until I have the TCG legal build, and then after that I might not update it until like all the cards are officially out, whether they come out in the Duelist pack or the Valhalla set, whatever set, you know, all these cards we're getting for Photon Galaxy comes out, and that's probably when I'll do the next update for, you know, all the new cards, Transfer, Braver, you know, all the good stuff that we want that we don't have yet, Starliege Blast Dragon, all the good stuff. So I'm going into 3-set back row here, one of which I know is a Widow Anchor, and then I summon out Thrasher, and then I play the Photon Sanctuary, which that card is still so very powerful in this deck, and it's one of the main reasons I wanted to actually build a version of it right now, because we have Hyperstar legal, and I think it would be pretty good to at least try a build with it. We have number 90, we have Hyperstar, and just throw together a simple build and see what's possible. It's still, I think, very easy right now. It just takes a lot more cards in hand to end with Hyperstar, Cyber Dragon, Infinity number 90. It's not the best board, but it's better than nothing, right? The only difference between now and once we have all the cards is just we have a lot less ability to search. You know, especially with cards like Vanisher that gets you Galaxy Eyes to hand so fast. We have cards like, you know, Transfer that just makes instant rank 4s, 5s, or 8s. Braver is a cool card. And so is Soulflare Dragon. Adding back something is always nice. And then I think the last thing I wanted to mention is that in the new build, I'm going to try out a card called Pinpoint Landing. It just came out. I think it might have some pretty cool synergy in there because you do special summon from the hand quite a bit with cards like Thrasher and Vanisher and Galaxy Soldier and things of that nature, even Galaxy Eyes as well. So might want to give that a try. And anyways, back to the duel here. He's got, looks like 1, 2, I think it was 5 spells. He's going to go ahead and go into Hayate here. Again, we did not have the cards yet. This video was recorded, I think I said, a couple days before Prio was available. Or not Prio, Saiho, Cybernetic Horizon. So that is why that is not a real Hayate there. Activating another engage this turn. I'm going to go grab the field spell. Trying to dig into some more Sky Striker cards after he grabs that extra draw there off of that that start of engage, should say. Having to deal with just my Hyperstar and my Photon Thrasher, of course, which is being boosted by 500, putting him to 2600 attack. Nothing he can really beat over that with right now. Of course, Hyperstar is at 19. That will add me back a light monster from Grave. And he's going to go ahead and activate Afterburners here. That's going to clear away the Photon Thrasher, leaving me with just the Hyperstar. Now I'm going to head and normal summon the Ray and activate the field spell. And then he's going to target Ray, and then he's going to chain Ray's effect. And then after that, he's going to chain Widow Anchor and bring Hyperstar over to my side of the field after the Ray effect resolves. And it's a nice little combo there where you can use the field spell to chain Ray, so you don't lose Ray for nothing, and he does get an extra deck monster out of it in the meantime. And that Kagari is boosted up to, I think, maybe like 2200 attack. I'm not entirely sure. As you'll see, I'll take some damage here from Hyperstar, who is at 14, and the Hayate, who is at 18, or 15, my bad, and the Kagari, which I believe might be at like 22 or something. Which is putting me down to 29. I hope the math is correct. Because what happened with this video is I edited in all of the overlay stuff, but I forgot to speed up the video, so I had to render it, leave everything as is, and then speed it up in a separate video and edit it that way. Yeah, just a bunch of complicated editing things going on with this one, so can't go back and change the life points right now, so hopefully everything is correct so far. Using Hyperstar and his Kagari, though, to go into Unicorn. Doesn't want me to get back that Hyperstar or risk getting it sent to the graveyard to add me back something like Photon Thrasher. Not the greatest card to add back, but it is better than nothing. And then looks like Kagari or multi-roll is going to reset that Widow Anchor, still proving to be a huge problem. And that Shizuku making it very hard for me to beat over anything. So I just go ahead and decide to scoop it up. You go ahead and here and go into game 3. One apiece right now, both at 8,000. Start things off the Foolish Burial. And I think our opponent here, Sky Striker opponent, opened up an Ash Blossom in hand, so I do have to worry about that. That will definitely impede on some of the plays I have. But starting off with that Foolish Burial, getting Galaxy Eyes where you really want them is either in your grave or in your hand, especially when you have a card like Galaxy Knight to work with. And then I go ahead and normal summon that Photon, or not Photon Wizard, Galaxy Wizard. Tribute to Search. He gets hit with an Ash Blossom. And then I go to Soul Charge to try to make a rank 8, but he's got Ghost Bell, 2 hand traps completely shutting me down, and then to add salt to the wound, immediately starts his turn with a startup engage to go grab, looks like Hornet Drones. Coulda. Man, this is, and you might think it's weird, but at this point, like in this build, I'm not playing Called By. It's just because like it's so hard to find the room for it, in my opinion. But I've since then forced it in there. And if I do an updated profile with proxies and stuff in it for things that aren't out yet after I do the TCG legal profile, even the TCG legal profile is going to have Called By in it. It's just because it's mandatory, in my opinion. Even if I would have just had Called By for the Ash, I could have done a lot more. I would at least probably ended with something. I'm not entirely sure. The Ghost Bell, though, adds insult to injury, though. It's just shutting down that Soul Charge completely. And then Kagari here, normal shenanigans, going to go into Shizuku. And then looks like Multi-Roll is going to destroy that Hercules base, the Herculean base. I'm going to go put back Hayate and Kagari, and looks like an engage back into the deck. And then has 2 spells engraved right now, it looks like. Is going to activate that engage here. Going to grab a Widow Anchor with that. We won't grab a draw here because he does not have 3 at time of activation. Multi-Roll is going to set back engage, and then Shizuku is going to get a search here in the end phase of engage. So I know where his engage is set. Just kind of want to clear it, but I also got to worry about a Widow Anchor. This is why I wish I had the Twin Twisters in. I don't think we sided in this match, although we might have. I cannot remember. This was recorded a couple days ago. Thrasher into Galaxy Knight, though, into me reviving that Galaxy Eyes. So really good play to start things off here with. And wasn't really sure where to go next with this play. And I can make number 38 here in the center because Shizuku is giving me that arrow pointing to my side of the field. Luckily, so I figured no reason to take up my own extra monster zone if he's giving me one for free. Now beat over, since my Hope Harbinger was at 28. And he's going to go ahead and summon out Shizuku there. Or Kagari, rather. And I believe he should have taken more damage there. I think I might have forgot to do the life points for that one. Oh well. What are you going to do? I was bound to forget it. I knew it. Bound to forget somewhere. But I think I'm in a pretty bad spot, being that he just took my number 38 with Widow Anchor, and leaving me with nothing but a Photon Thrasher on my side of the field, and 1 card in hand, which isn't really the most helpful card, considering I burned so many cards turn 1 only to have them not go anywhere because of hand traps. As he continues here to gain more and more advantage, he used Multi-Roll to clear the number 38, and then use Afterburner to clear the Thrasher, and then activate Engage here again to go grab Sky Striker Ace Ray. And really just not looking good for me at this point. Plenty of spells engraved, gotta get the added draw. And yeah, I think that's pretty much about it for this one. I think it goes into Hayate, normal summons the Ray, uses the tag out effect in response to the field spell. Doesn't reveal anything yet, but like I said a couple times already, going into Kagari and counting up all the spells. I just had to scoop it up there. So actually, yeah, we did side that game. I think I sided in like Dankos and DD Crows and stuff like that. Didn't see anything, of course, because, you know, I never see any of my side deck cards. But yeah, Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, be on the lookout for that TCG legal variant of Photon Galaxy coming soon. Really excited to get that up to you guys. And anyways, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Join the Discord if you haven't, linked down in the description. Pick up a playmat or a t-shirt if you really like to. Go the extra mile as far as support is concerned. Again, guys, thank you so much for all the continued support, and much love, guys. We'll see you later. Thank you so much for watching.